The story begins when two friends Keed and Risa are talking on a video call about a new video game that Risa has given to her. Keed wants Risa to play with her, however. Risa ditches her at the last moment as her mother calls out to her for studies, some friends who like to waste other people's time. Keed logs into the game alone and chooses the username Maple for herself. Next, she chooses a shield to defend herself as her weapon. Once entering the game, she finds out that her pace is lower than that of other players, and the reason being her stats adjusted to increase defense instead of strength and power. Soon she's guided by a player to move toward the west end where she can easily find low-tier monsters that would boost her strength. Once inside the forest, she's attacked by a cute little beast bunny, but nothing happens to Maple as she has a strong defense system. Finally, after defeating that tiresome rabbit, she manages to gain level 2, but yet again adds up all her stats and rewards into her defense as the girl loves playing safe and is not a risk taker at all. She is then attacked by a beast bee, who attacks Emply with all its poison. However, this only increases Maple's poison resistance. She hilariously plays dead in order to lure the bee towards herself and manages to kill that bee, and obtains a glittery ring as a reward. Maple dozes off, and many beasts try to attack her, but her defense system is so strong that nothing could happen to her. She logs out and finds that it is already after midnight. The next day she logs into the game and meets a pro gamer, Chrome, who takes her to a shop owned by Iz. Iz tells her that the customization of her armor would be overpriced, so she must set off to the mountains and fight the poison dragon over there. Maple manages to defeat that treacherous, three-headed dragon with the help of HP increasing potion and finds a treasure having uncountable gold pieces. She also gains a very rare skill of weapon rejuvenation as well. Soon Maple manages to buy an elite set of armor to others' envy. While in the forest, Maple is attacked by lady bombers. Maple overpowers them successfully, begins to eat them, and exclaims that they taste like candy. Anything is possible in VR. She receives 2 skills, Bomb Eater and Devour. She applies Devour to her shield. The next morning, Keed discusses the recent game events with Risa, who rants about her never-ending tests. Keed also informs Risa about the latest battle royale happening in the game. Soon Keed enters the event, where all players are thriving for the battle. A monster announces that now each of the players would fight another one, and the battle would last 3 hours. Maple tries to play safe as usual by hiding in a desolated fort, but is repeatedly attacked by 4 players. She managed to overpower them with her shield and a paralyzing sword. The spectators watch Maple defeating 100 players in no time. She defeats another group of players by using Hydra power and reaches the top 3. She also makes use of poison gases in order to eradicate all her opponents. The next day, Risa also joins the game as Sally and teams up with Maple. She focuses on improving her speed and chooses a sword for her weapon. Now Maple wants a completely new designed shield in order to improve her defense. The girl doesn't know when to stop to shop, as for that shield she requires a whopping 1,000,000 gold. They both decide to fish some white fish monsters in order to level up. After collecting 25 fish, Sally decides to dive into the lake to fish more and finds a hidden door locked in chains. She cuts off those chains with her sword. The two visit the lake often so that Sally can practice her underwater breathing skills. She finally manages to hold down her breath for 40 minutes underwater. She finds the fish boss into that cave labyrinth, defeats it after much toil, and manages to earn her own set of equipment consisting of armor and 2 swords. Both Sally and Maple learn that the game has introduced new updates in which Maple can use her Devour skills only 10 times a day, and that her defense has also been weakened a little. This makes Maple lose heart, but Sally explains that many characters have started to imitate Maple, strengthening their defenses, and this has made everyone practically invincible. But the game would be paying the damage to Maple in the form of new rewards and powers. Soon the girls decide to explore more areas of the first floor of the games, and of course, how could their day be complete without some shopping for new stuff? While in a cafe they meet Dread, who was placed second in the previous battle, and Dreg, who came 5th. It's still unexplainable why Dread is trying to cover his face. They tell them about the first ranker Pain, who is almost invincible and is the first person to reach the 2nd floor of the game. On the boys' suggestion, both Sally and Maple reach the northern forest to increase their speed skills and find it haunted and intimidating. Soon they reach a small cabin where there are strange wailing sounds coming from the basement. They follow the voice and find a wounded man tied up to the chair wailing uncontrollably. Sally uses her full power to heal that man, and finally, his spirit sets off, completing their forest mission. Sally also acquires new speed skills. The next day they reach level 2 and are attacked by 4 boars, but Maple overcomes them with her shield, followed by a large bear monster which is empowered by Sally's Mirage skill and Maple's shield. Next they are attacked by the forest guard monster of level 2. Poor Maple is knocked down, but then Sally manages to take it down. Next they reach level 2 town and meet Iz, who gives Maple her new white shield. On the day of the second event, both girls meet Chrome, and soon Dorizu announces that the event would be a treasure hunt. Soon they wander around the grassland and find a hidden dungeon. They follow the long tunnel and reach the boss room. Together the girls defeat the demonic boss and manage to win their first silver medals. They could easily exchange 10 silver medals with 1 gold one. Maple already has 1 gold medal as she was placed 3rd in the last event. Soon they reach an alpine area covered with ice and have a brief encounter with Chrome. They graciously allow Chrome to enter the dungeon, but the dungeon door remains open. They both take a chance and enter the dungeon, only to be ambushed by a large power ice bird boss, Silver Wing. The bird is so powerful that even Maple's powerful Snow White shield doesn't work against it. Both Maple and Sally have to use every single power of theirs, like Hydra and Mirage, but the bird manages to overcome them every time. Soon Maple uses her meditation skills, while Sally keeps on healing Maple. On gaining opportunity, Sally uses Mirage, and finally the Hydra potion defeats that giant bunch of feathers with great stamina. For rewards, the girls receive 5 medals and 2 eggs. Unknown to them, they are being observed by some developers who are out of their wits because defeating Silverwing was almost impossible. They decide to observe Maple, and by using that information they plan to create an invincible monster which even Maple is unable to defeat. The girls reach by the river and hatch the eggs. From Maple's egg comes out turtle, and from Sally's egg comes out a fox. Seriously, this proves anything is possible in a game because never heard of mammal hatching out of an egg. They both name the turtle, Syrup, and fox, Obro. They also receive rings to tame their monsters. They decide to level up their monsters by making them fight with other level 2 monsters. Soon they reach a desert, where a player who was placed 6 challenges them. Now when that girl sees that she has to fight not only Maple but Sally as well, she conveniently chickens out by saying that now she doesn't feel like fighting. She uses her super speed and flees, but Sally also chases her wildly, with Maple following her tumbling over. Soon the 3 girls find themselves being swallowed by desert sand and reach an underground cave. The 3 are bonded together by an invisible chain. A condition is imposed by the chain that if one player dies, then the others will eventually die as well. Soon the trio decides to work together till they get out from that dreadful binding. The girl introduces herself as Kasumi. Hilariously, Maple keeps on tumbling and falling because she can't keep up with the pace of both Sally and Kasumi. Maple finds a medal on the way. Soon they decide to dodge a number of giant snails on their way by using super speed skills and reach the treasure room. The binding chain disappears and they decide to split the treasure equally. Outside the dungeon, Kasumi befriends both Sally and Maple and they part ways. Soon the duo collects many medals on their way. Soon they meet a nerd called Can and befriend him. The boy gives him a quiz book and tells them that by solving a puzzle they could embark on a new mission to collect medals. Soon the girls reach a ruin with dry fountains and manage to solve the puzzle. Soon they are teleported to magical underwater land and are ambushed by an almost immortal giant squid. Maple kills it with the poison of Hydra, and soon Sally decides to challenge other players and manages to collect 2 medals. Both girls then hide inside a cave to hide from other players, and then are joined by Kasumi. Soon Maple creates a poisonous barrier outside the cave to avoid any infringement. When the event ends, Maple airheadedly wastes her gold medals on upsizing Syrup, and using psychokinesis power to make him float in the air. The next morning at school, Risa warns Keed to act normally at school, but Keed acts otherwise. After 3 days, Maple enters the game and meets Sally, who informs her about an insect. When caught, they could have the right to own a guild house. The smart Alex Sally had already caught one, so they both check out for potential dwellings. They find a beautiful treehouse to form their guild and could have up to 50 members. Soon Kasumi, Kanade, Chrome and Is become the guild members. The guild is named Maple Tree and Maple is named the guild master. Soon they get a mining expedition, and soon with help of Kanade, Maple and Kanade fly on Syrup to explore the mines for materials. Sally looks out for wolf cubs and tree blights to add up to their materials. Soon Chrome annoyances that 3rd and 4th events have also been announced, so it's better to recruit more guild members to enhance their chances of winning. Soon Maple and Sally check out other potential recruits but find none on the 2nd floor. Soon they find the twins Yui and Mai and try to recruit them, but for some reason the twins refuse. After much coaxing, flattering and bribing them with coffee and cake, the twins join the guild. Soon Sally and Maple help the twins to defeat the Forest Guardian so that they could qualify level 2. In the end, the twins accidentally break the guild table by whacking it with their heads during a bow. Maple assists Yui and Mai level up by the help of Hydra until they reach level 20, and gains skills like Conqueror and Destroyer by defeating Hydra in a very short span of time. Gives each of them a crystal hammer for a reward. Meanwhile, Sally also helps them improve their agility skills. Chrome decides to go solo on an adventure as he wants to improve his own strength and power, so he takes Syrup with him. It could be seen that the turtle could be loaned to anybody who wanted a free ride. He manages to conquer the Grave of Dead and gets a new armor set for a reward. Kanade also gets a second cube that combines with his first one and gives him a skill called Spell Stash. Maple also manages to complete the 3 related quests of a chain called Benevolent Knight. She gains a new skill called Loving Sacrifice that provides her guild members protection with a cover, while Maple takes all the strikes to herself. Her appearance also changes and now she looks more like an angel. She also makes Iz craft her new armor to match her brand new skills. Iz should be her personal armor designer. Elsewhere, Payne's guild is having a serious discussion about the rising position of the Maples guild. Payne decides to keep a keen eye on every member of the Maples guild. Soon Maple discusses the 3rd event with her guild members, and they have to collect as many bells as they can from cow monsters. So dressed in new attire, all members set out to collect bells. However, Maple with her sluggish speed is a big hurdle for them. Suddenly her foot slips and she tumbles down the mountain and reaches an abandoned church. There she encounters a demon knight that threatens to eat her. However, she protects herself by using her armor. Still, the demon swallows her and Maple finds her armor melting and HP decreasing due to the demon's stomach acid. However, she uses her Devour skill and begins eating that demon from inside. Now decide who's the bigger demon. She manages to kill the demon and acquires special skills of Sleeping Chaos, Predator, and Atrocity. When she returns, she is distressed to learn that her guild didn't make it to the top 10. She apologizes to the members that it was due to her low speed that they lost. Soon Maple's guild decides to explore various areas of the 3rd floor. Maple easily defeats the guard boss of the 3rd floor by using her demonic skills to the members all, and they are thankful that they don't have Maple as their opponent. Soon they find out that the 3rd level is all machines. Maple meets a worn-out old man and gives him some food and water. In return, he directs her to the center of the town where the machine god lived. She immediately reaches that place and finds a malfunctioning machine lord and defeats it. The old machine king returns and gives her a machine god part to fight the new king who had earlier dethroned him. Dredd asks Payne about Frederica and he says that she's off spying on Maple Tree's guild. Meanwhile, at Maple Tree, Chrome and Kasumi are fighting off monsters. Iz is on a material hunt, while Maple, the twins, and Sally are chilling out. Ladies wake up, the event is around the corner. Suddenly Sally senses someone snooping on them. She readily goes behind the rock and catches Frederica. She challenges Frederica. If the latter loses, then she has to give the secrets of her guild. However, Frederica keeps a condition that she would only spill the beans about the Flame Emperor guild. The girl is not as naive as she appears, so watch out. Sally then manages to use all fake skills because she still doesn't trust Frederica. Exhausted by Sally's exotic moves, Frederica gives up and reveals the promised information. Soon at the Maple Guild, Dorizu appears and informs them about the 4th event's rules. The event involves stealing other guilds' orbs and protecting their own. Sally knows that they lack adequate manpower, but she still assigns tasks accordingly to all guild members. Soon they all decide to level up for the event. Soon Chrome, Sally, and Kasumi act as attackers and tactfully bring the first orb into the guild. Meanwhile, Sally manages to steal several orbs from other guilds by using her intelligence and has a brief encounter with Dreg and Mai. For defense, Maple and the twins are in charge of protecting several orbs against the invaders. Sally sets out with Oboro to find more orbs. Kanade also managed to get 1 orb, while Kasumi, Chrome, and Iz also managed to get 1. What about the twins? Are they still being pampered? Just when Sally is about to return home with 10 orbs of her own, she's surrounded by Frederica's forces. But Maple comes to her rescue, and with her Hydra and Machine Force she manages to defeat the forces. This only leaves the not-so-efficient twins to defend the orbs, and Dredd barges in and defeats the twins. But the power duo appears before he could steal the orbs and manages to overcome him in no time. However, Dredd doesn't give up and promises to return with his accomplices. After a while, Sally faints from exhaustion. Lots of hard work for poor lone soul, so Maple and the twins launch an attack on the Flame Emperor's guild and eventually face off against Mai, Marcus, and Misery. Mai, Marcus, and Misery fight hard against Maple and the twins. Maple decides to send the twins with Syrup and fights alone. Because seriously, I feel that twins are a liability to the guild. Maple does her best to overcome the 3 and successfully dodges their attacks. However, she gets locked in the cage of flames. But Maple doesn't give up and unleashes the machine god. This kills both Marcus and Misery, but Mai decides to avenge both. She uses a self-destruct spell, but Maple brushes off as a passing breeze. But still the Flame Emperor's orb is taken by Shin and other mobsters. Maple decides to look for other orbs in the surrounding. The Maple Tree members reunite far from their base and Chrome informs them that they are having difficulty in maintaining the 10th position. Seriously, there is a rat race going on out there. Sally suggests that Iz and Kanade take the defense position while others start looking for more orbs. After the mission, they all return to the guild and Sally suspects that the Holy Swords are planning to launch an attack against them. Her prediction is true as the opponent guild plans to slay Maple. Frederica, Dread, Dreg and Pain are about to overcome Maple, but Maple fights back. Maple's health is severely compromised, but she doesn't give up and finally uses her last option, Atrocity, to defeat Pain and other Holy Sword members. Sally decides to play the game the other way after seeing that both Flame Emperor and Holy Swords are treacherous guilds. She decides to remain in the top 10 positions by eliminating the weaker guilds. Now, since Maple could only use the Atrocity power once, So hasn't changed back to her normal form, because she might have to protect her guild members if another opponent had caked. Sally decides to use this demonic power of Maple to reach the top position. They manage to eradicate many smaller guilds, and many players escape intimidated by Maple's hideous appearance. Meanwhile, Maple guilders watch a ferocious battle going on between the Flame Emperor's guild with another larger guild, and the former is having difficulty in achieving victory. Maple in her demonic form saves their day, even protecting the rapidly deteriorating melee. The event ends abruptly when only 6 guilds are left, and everyone can see how invincible Maple has become and no one dared to challenge her. Meanwhile, it could be seen how that dimwit Maple combined her woolly and machine lord skills to turn into a ridiculous ball for the twins to play with. In the real world, Keed congratulates Risa that they ended up in 3rd place, while Risa advises Keed to concentrate on her studies or else she will be grounded.